Alright, I need to know if I'm actually losing it or if people on airplanes have just become wild. What was supposed to be a normal flight somehow turned into half the plane looking at me like I'd kicked a puppy. So yeah, here's what happened. So I'm tall, not freakishly tall, but tall enough that flying normally sucks for me. My knees hit the seat, my back cramps, and I spend the whole flight wishing teleportation was real. So this time, I did the responsible thing and paid extra for an aisle seat with more legroom. I just wanted to survive the flight without folding myself like a suitcase. I get on the plane, sit down, settle in, headphones ready, mentally preparing for the next few hours. Then this woman holding a baby stops right next to me. She looks exhausted, and honestly, her baby looks like 2 seconds away from melting down. Behind her is her husband, equally miserable. She gives me this hopeful smile and says, "Hi, is there any chance you could switch seats with my husband so we can sit together?" I ask where her husband is sitting. She points to the very last row. Middle seat. The place where dreams go to die. I politely tell her, "I'm sorry, I really need the extra legroom." Instant attitude shift. Her smile drops like a mask falling off. She says, "But I have a baby. I can't sit here alone. He needs to help me." I felt bad. I really did. But I bought this seat for a reason, because sitting in the back row for hours actually hurts. So I apologized again. Politely. Then her husband approaches. "Come on man, just help us out." I repeat myself. Same calm tone. Same explanation. And that's when the guilt tripping begins. The woman says loudly, "Some people just don't have compassion anymore." Then some random guy across the aisle goes, "Really dude? It's a baby." Bro, what? How did I become the villain here? A flight attendant comes over because the tension is building. The woman immediately complains, painting me as the seat-hoarding monster who hates babies. The flight attendant asks if I can switch. I tell her the truth, I'm tall. I need the legroom. The flight attendant says, "That's perfectly fine. You're not required to switch." You'd think that would end it. Nope. It just made the woman angrier. She sits down next to me with the baby, and instantly she starts muttering under her breath. Things like, "This is unbelievable. Some people have no heart." Loud enough so I could hear. Loud enough so everyone could hear. Her husband is still glaring from the aisle like I personally ruined their family vacation, until other passengers push him to move. The plane takes off, and it just gets worse. Her baby starts crying at one point, loudly, non-stop, and honestly, I felt bad. Babies don't choose to be babies. But then she says, loudly, "I wish I wasn't sitting next to a selfish person. My husband would have helped me." I'm sorry, what? I turn and say, calmly, "Ma'am, I didn't stop you two from sitting together. The airline did." She rolls her eyes. Then an older woman in front of us turns around like some justice warrior and says, "You could have just switched. It's only decent." Then another guy adds, "It wouldn't have killed you." And I'm sitting there wondering why none of these heroes offered to take the back row middle seat themselves. The flight attendant comes by again, and the mom complains again, this time saying airlines should force people to switch in situations like this. The attendant repeats, politely but firmly, passengers can't be forced to give up seats they paid extra for. Still, everyone kept staring at me like I had committed a war crime by staying in the seat that I bought, with my money, for my legs, that bend like rusty steel rods. By the time we landed, I had mentally left my body. At the gate, the husband joins her and she loudly announces, he wouldn't switch. I had to do everything alone. Then he gives me the nastiest look. And that was that. I got home feeling weirdly guilty, so I told some friends what happened. And I swear, the reactions were split down the middle. Some said, "Dude, you paid for that seat. You didn't do anything wrong." Others said, "You should have helped a mom with a baby." And now I'm stuck questioning everything. Here's how I look at it though, I didn't stop them from buying seats together. I didn't cause the situation. I didn't book their tickets. I just sat in the seat I paid extra for. Switching would have meant losing my legroom. Being squished for hours. Potentially hurting my back again. Being miserable the entire flight. Meanwhile, none of the people judging me offered their seats. Not one. Alright, here's my take on this whole thing. I get that traveling with a baby is tough, like really tough, and I sympathize with anyone in that position. But at the same time, buying a specific seat, planning ahead, and just wanting a comfortable flight doesn't suddenly make someone selfish. It's kind of wild how people expect the one person who prepared to sacrifice their comfort, while nobody else on that plane offered to switch either. Honestly, this feels like one of those situations where everyone wants to play moral hero with someone else's seat. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Should he have switched seats just to help out, or was the guilt tripping completely out of line? I'm curious to see where you stand on this. If you enjoyed the story, feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.